welcome. Everybody, how you doing? Great. Thank you for coming to the panel today. We're very excited, and he's overwhelmed. Like, wow, I have this many fans. Great. Welcome to Texas.
Hello, Texas. Hello, San Antonio.
Right.
こんにちは、アニメーターで、アニメ演出家のソイタです。
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Great. I hope you're having a good time. This is the first panel. My name is Kazuhiro Soeta. I'm an animator and also the director of the art director. Everybody knows? 皆さん。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
何から話しましょうか。
はい、まずご自身のいろいろな紹介とかやっていたり。
皆さん日本のアニメーションは好きですか？
Oh wow! There are so many people who speak Japanese too. Wow. Okay. Do you like Japanese anime?
日本のテレビアニメの一番最初の作品が鉄腕アトム、これが、1963年の1月1日から放送が始まったんですよ。
All of you know with the history of anime, it started with Astro Boys, and that started on January the 1st, 1963. That was the first time it aired on TV.
で、その3ヶ月前に僕は生まれてるんですね。なので、日本のアニメーションと僕の人生がほぼ重なってるんで。
I was born 3 months prior to the first showing of introduction of Astro Boy. So my life is the history of anime from the beginning.
アニメをやるために生まれてきたみたいな。
I was born to create anime.
ちょっと言い過ぎ。
That may be overstatement, but
僕はその東京から、北に120キロぐらい離れた町で育ったんですけど、うちは農家で、本家ってわかります、の長男だったので家を継がなきゃいけなかったの。
Okay, let me tell you the story of my family and my upbringing. I was born about 120 kilometers away from Tokyo, and my family was a farmer, and I was born as the first son of the family. Usually means, in traditional way, I have to take over their business.
で、高校生の時に学校の部活で8ミリフィルムでアニメを作ってたんですよ。
And I was in high school. There is a club, anime club, and we were making anime with the 8mm the camera. So it was before digital. Just in case you don't know, that's hard to make film. Okay.
で、アニメーションの道に進みたいと思って親に言ったんですけども、大反対で家出をしたりとか、もう東京に行ってアニメをやるって家を飛び出したりとかしたんですが、結局、大学に進学してバイトでアニメを始めて親に感動と
Okay.
でアニメーターになりました。
Oh my goodness. So it was a very difficult road to become animator. Of course, my parents were totally against it, and to the point he left home a few times and said, I have to go to Tokyo. to make it as an animator. And they finally said, okay, in that case, if you want to pursue animation, you're no longer welcome at home. So they kicked him out of the house, and he went to Tokyo, and while he was in college, he pursued the animator's dreams.
今はもう母を亡くなっているんですが、父とも仲直りしています。
Okay. Well, my mother has passed since, but now that I'm sort of known in the industry, they welcome me back and they forgave me. So I'm part of a family. We have no hard feelings between us.
当時としては、ね、田舎の農家の父親から見たら、東京に行ってアニメの絵なんか描いて食べていけるはずがないと。
According to my father, in those days, old days, it's completely valid that his thought of we're farmers, you're a farmer. Going to Tokyo is one thing, that's very difficult. But to become animator, to go to Tokyo, that's like, there's no way you can get a job or you can even feed yourself. So get a real job. It was his comment that time.
で、いつの間にかアニメをやり始めて、37年、8年目かなになりました。
And so it goes. I've been animator since that time, so total about 37 years or 38 years now, and still going.
なんとか食べられるように食べられ続けているのかな。で、こうやってサンジャパンに呼んでもらえるようになりました。
Well, I guess I'm okay. I'm feeding myself. I'm not starving, so that means I made it in the industry. I'm an animator, and even to be a part of Sun Japan, I'm very honored. And for all of you being here, that makes me feel great. Thank you so much. それでどうですか？まずジャパンに来て。So how do you feel about Sun Japan in Texas?
テキサスね、まず空が綺麗。
Texas sky is blue, beautiful.
そしてみんな優しい。
And people are so kind.
来てよかった。
I'm so glad I came to see you. ロットビアが美味しい。
ルートビアが好きなんですよ。
Very strange about root beer. All American is root beer, right? In Japan, they're like root beer, lotto beer. They can't stand the taste. It's just horrible. Me included. But he loves root beer, so we took him to the breakfast place over there and the German restaurant, and they actually make their own root beer, and he was almost in the tear. That's for breakfast, by the way. It was breakfast, and he had the cold pitcher of the root beer, and he's like, Texas, this is America. Oh, no. I have to tell you why I become root beer fan, because of Snoopy. Just to let you know, that started it. Snoopy が飲んでたからです。
そうです。なんか中学生の時にピーナッツコミックを読んで、スヌーピーにビールを飲んでると思って。
Okay, Japan doesn't have root beer, or they don't know what beer is, so only beer that you can think of is the beer. Anyway, when I was in the middle school, I watched Snoopy, and there goes root beer. And it's like, we in cartoon, are they drinking beer?
でそれがお酒ではないと、ビールではないっていうのを知って、飲みたくて飲みたくてしょうがなくて、でも初めて飲んだのが27歳の時。
Okay, and I finally found out that it's not the real beer, the alcohol, but it's a soft drink. And I searched and searched and finally had my first taste of root beer at age 27.
For you.
First taste.
でも今は大好き。
But I love it now.
アメリカ万歳。
All right, America. Yeah.
はい。
他にアメリカのなんかやはり印象の良かったこととか。
そうですね。いや、楽しいです。
Oh, I'm having great time in America, USA. USA.
日本でもコミックマーケットという大きいイベントがあったりしますけど、アメリカのイベントはまた日本のイベントとは雰囲気も違って、なんだろう、まあお国柄なんですかね、どっちも楽しいですけど、アメリカのイベントの方が一体感がある気がしますね。
Well, I've been going to, in Japan, it's one of the largest and oldest events called Comic Market. And everybody goes there, as you know. And so I'm used to Japanese conventions or some type of big event. But I've been to a few American events as well, but they both are excited in different way. But I noticed that for US, I feel the oneness as a team, Team USA.
いや、日本のアニメーションが、そのね、アメリカ、まあ他にも中国だったり、ドイツだったり、ヨーロッパだったり、みんな日本のアニメーション好きでいてくれる人がいるのはすごいありがたいな。感謝してます。
I am so honored and thankful that not only in Japan, but Japanese anime has been accepted widely in the United States, China, Germany, and even all over Europe. And just to add it up, South America ですか、もうすごいんですよね。And South America, I just don't like, oh, they are going crazy there too. So. 'Just a secret of my little ambition is that one day I'll be able to do animation in the United States. But no English.
でもアニメーションの専門用語で英語が多いんで、仕事の打ち合わせができるんです。何言ってるか分かるんですよ。で、打ち合わせが終わって世間話になると何言ってるか分からない。
Yes, but as many of you know, if you're future animators here or dreaming about it, a lot of animation words, keywords, business terms are in English. So I understand, and at least I can probably be in a meeting, like during the business meetings. I think I understand. But as soon as it's over, I have to go to the break. no English. So I don't think I can carry the conversation, and I said, start with root beer. I think that's good. 今までの作品でなんか自分で心に残ったことですとか何か。
そうですね。
はい。
一番最初に名前がエンディングにクレジットされた作品がドクタースランプあられちゃん。
ドクタースランプ。Okay, the first time I asked him, what do you have like in your most memory that something represent him and he remembers as an artist, animator? What was the title that you did and you can think of? And he said, the first time I see my credit, my name on the credit is Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump. If you're otaku, you probably know that one. That's real. Wow, how many people knows Dr. Slump? Oh my. Were you even born at that? まだまだですよ。私ね、知ってますか？
その時はアニメーターではなくて、
はい、
仕上げさんといってセルの色を塗る人だったんですね。
That time I wasn't credited as an animator, but I was still young, you know, you're learning. So I was considered, 何ですか、クリエイターじゃなくて、仕上げ。Anime 仕上げ means finisher. So completion means they're all drawing, everything is done, and you final check and do the coloring. So that's the job title I had on the first credit.
その後アニメーターになって一番最初にクレジットされた作品がうるせえやつら。
And the first time I was officially credited as an animator is うるせえやつら. That is like Japanese classic.
動画さんでした。
Oh, and he actually did the motion, and that was for the TV show. Do you know? Did you ever hear any of this? Or how many people know Urusei Yatsura? Oh my goodness! Wow, you weren't even on this earth that time. はい。そうですね。それでルパン。じゃあこちらです、ね、
動画の頃に結構いろいろやってて、
はい、
まあアニメの仕事ってほんのちょっとしかやらなくてもクレジットされるので、ゼータガンダブルゼータガンダムとか言ってました。
ダブルここにあります。
載ってないの？
あ、ゼータガンダム。なんだ。Oh. The guy in the front knows everything. Oh, okay. And the first time I credit as an animator, another one is in Japan. If you do even one portion of it, they credit you. You don't have to complete that series or the episode. So double Zeta Gun?
Yeah, double Zeta Gundam.
Gundam.
Wow.
He was credited too.
その頃はまだ監督の富野さんにはお会いしたことなかったんですが、先輩方から富野さん、富野監督はすごい怖い人って聞いてたんですよ。それ怒るんですよ。で、ひどい絵を描くとここ描いたの誰だ、死ねとか言われるわけですよ。
Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you know Mr. Tomino, the director and creator of Gundam series? And you know his reputation. He's mighty scary. And sometimes he didn't meet him then, that time, but his senpai, you know, the people who were ahead of him, he said, be careful. If he's mad, he will eat you up. So he was like, oh, okay. And what he does is like he knows exactly if something is wrong on those storyboard or anything in the series, and if there's the change of artist, he can point out right away. Who did this part? Who's the name? This isn't the same guy. Bring him over. So his eyes are superb, but I was very scared.
その後、何年か後にお仕事をすることになって、それは闇夜の時代に単発のビデオだったんですけど、その時にキャラクターデザインをやって、ラフを書いてチェックをしてもらうんですね。富野さんの事務所別のところにあって、担当の子が上がりを持ってチェックしてもらって持って帰って、いいよって言ってましたよ。嘘だ、絶対ダメに違いない。
これはあれの時ですか？そうすると、キーアニメーター、キャラクター。Okay, I'm just listening. We didn't go over everything he was going to say. But anyway, it's very exciting. There is a short series called Yamiyo no Jidaigeki. It was created by Mr. Tomino. And that was the first job he had as a key character artist. Means the main of everything. And his office is somewhere else, so he did finish the concept drawing, and he sent it his assistant over and just bring it to him, and he would check every one of them. And the assistant came back and he said, oh, the director said, it looks fine. And it's like, that's it? No, it can't be. Yeah, he said it's fine. No!
話を聞いてから僕が仕事をするまでの何年ぐらいで7、8年は多分間が来ているんですが、その間にいい人になったらしいんですよ。
Well, actually, I knew who he was. Everybody heard about him. But when I first finally did his job order, that was like 7 to 8 years after I initially heard about his personality, and he changed. He is nice. So all the fears I had in years, it was planted to me by my senpai, was like, he's nice. That's not right.
いましたが、やっぱすごいな。
But as you expected, the personality aside, technically and his artistry, he is amazing. He is just top-notch, amazing, very respected person.
今と言いましたが、その動画をやってた後に、動画マンから原画マンにステップアップしたんですよね。
自分でディレクターしてる。
アニメーターの仕事ってその下から言っていくと動画、原画、作画監督、キャラクターデザイナーこうステップアップしていくんですよね。で、そのフリーランスで自宅で動画をやってるとなかなかステップアップできない。今はちょっと昔と変わったんですけど、でその先輩がいるスタジオで原画マンの見習いを募集する試験をやるっていうので、お前も受けないかと言われて受けて、その会社で原画マンの見習いになって、その時やってた作品が北斗の拳。
Okay, let me explain to you about the Japanese steps, the way you can become animators. You have a long, hard time in the bottom, and that would be the motion artist. But you're not creating it, but you just kind of like do touch-ups and everything. And once you were permitted, and you can go up one more stage up, and it's going to be Genga. Genga is original art. Genga to the original artist.
いや、キーアニメーター。
Oh, sorry, key animator. That's the job you can get one step up, but you have to take tests in many places. Then you become like a scenario writer. Then you can become the character designer, that means the main character, and that's how you keep going up to become the A-class animators. And if you freelance, for the future artist, if you freelance doing it at home, it's very hard to go up on the steps because there's systems. And those days, well, now they're more lenient, but those days you have to kind of belong to studios. And they have a test as an artist. And if you can't pass the test, and they have so many people waiting for that one spot, so it's a very competitive market. And I finally got in as a key artist. And the first job I was given was Hokuto no Ken. That is the best of Hokuto. Yes, the Northern Star. Okay, that everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
It's a very big deal. So Hokuto no Ken はみんな知ってる。
その頃はまだ
はい。
そんなに上手くなかったので。
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't that great that time. Just
出てくる人がみんなマッチョですね。
and you know all the characters are macho guys.
毎日筋肉ばっかり描いてる。
Every day, I have to draw muscle, more muscle.
上半身裸の男の人ばっかりずーっと描き続けるんですよね。
You know, I have to draw a macho man naked, like at the tops. There's no shirt every single day.
でケンシロウのお兄さんのラオウっていうのがいるじゃないですか。でラオウビキールがいっぱいある鎧をつけてる上に部下を何百人も連れてるんですよ。そこが映ると画面に何十人も描かないといけない。
Okay, if you know in the detail that Kenshiro's brother, his name is Lao, you know he got a gear, everything like super strong, but he got lots of soldiers behind him. So when he said, "Hey, it's time for Lao," it's like, "Oh no." I have to draw him and 300 bunch of dudes behind.
楽しい仕事です。
But it was fun. It was fun. Now I think about it, it was fun.
また話が飛ぶと、その後会社が変わって東映動画っていうところでテレビは作ってたんですが、トムスエンターテインメントさんで劇場版を作ったんですね。その時にちょこっと参加してます。
Okay, I used to belong to Toei Animation, so a lot of Toei Animation stuff came to him and as a group in the studio, but then he moved to Tom's Entertainment. That is more of the movie theater type of animation, and that's where he learned a lot of movie animations.
現場で少し参加して、ちょっとは描けるようになったかな。
Then I think I progressed a little bit during that time as a key animator. I think I improved a bit.
若い頃は筋肉をうまく描くためにボディービルダーの写真集を見て 筋肉の勉強するわけですよ。
Oh, you know, future animator, future artist, remember, you do study. You don't just draw things. Like when I did the Northern Star, I actually had to have all the portfolios and pictures of those muscle men. I'm talking bodybuilders, Arnold. Like all the pictures and have to identify all the muscles.
でボディービルの写真でポージングをして、筋肉が緊張している状態の写真しかないんですよ。
Ah, okay. Well, you know, the bodybuilder wants to show the best of the best, so all their pictures were like all like powerful. They got the most muscle they have to show off. So that's the kind of pose. That's the only pose they have is showing muscles.
ね、本当にうまい先輩がいるに、ここは別に力入れてるわけじゃないから、もっと自然な筋肉をかけるって言われて。
And my senpai, the superior, is like, well, this scene doesn't have to be, he's just walking or doing something very normal, so you don't need a muscle to just do the normal things. So think about it, normal muscle. Can you draw that? Like,
自然なポージングは大事。
so remember, natural is number one. Natural movement, natural doing daytime, you know, everyday things you do is the part of animation. So not all heroes are,
そう戦ってる時に
only when they're fighting scene, I was rocking, but like, they're not fighting every day or every scene, so be careful on that.
次に行きましょうか。
はい。
次何行きましょうかね。まあいろんな作品そのものやってはいるんですが、
はい。これかな？エスカレーター。はい
転機が訪れたのは、
はい。
ロードストー青年です。こういうふうに言うんです。
あ、こっちの方ですか。Lord of the, okay. When something, my life change event happened, that was during Lord of Lords, Ryu Night. Do you know that one? No, I'm sorry.
ロードストー青年。
Oh, I'm sorry. Record of the Rhodes War. That's 1990, 91 classic, right?
これで初めて作画監督をやらせてもらいました。
And this is the first time I became actually the creator and director. So this is my baby here.
で結城信輝さんがキャラクターデザイナーで総作画監督。
どちらですか？
総作画監督。作画監督のさらに上の、各場の作画監督の絵を全部に、
あ、トータルが勇気。
結城信輝。
はい。And they're like many directors, but they are executive director, the one who oversees all of them. That is Mr. Yoki Nobunaga.
信輝。
Okay, and he's the most famous, one of the top kantoku, the director in the anime world.
超大変だったんですよ。
It was tough.
でそれまで僕は、ど根性ガエルとかルパン三世とか、日本アニメーションの名作劇場とかそっち系の絵が好きだったんですね。それが結城信輝さんの絵を描くっていうのは超ハードで。
Okay. Before that, I was involved with Dokonjo Gaeru. That's the frog that's very, very famous. It's like a character. And Lupin the Third. So those are the type of the art animation I did. So that was very fun. But for Mr. Yuki, Nobuteru Yuki, it's totally different genre.
で OVA13 本のうちの4本作文監督をやらせてもらってます。
And out of 12, 13 episode, he did 4. He was in charge for 4 of them.
でロードスで複数作家をやってる人って他にいなくて、みんな大変なので1本やるとやめちゃうんです。
And for the Rhodos, a lot of record of the Rhodos work, a lot of people, a lot of kantoku like himself, they do one episode, it is so difficult that they quit in one episode. No one did multiple episodes.
で、自分からすると自分が本当に好きな絵柄よりもずっと大変な絵を頑張って無理して描いてるのに、そういうのが好きなんでしょって周りの人から見られて大変な仕事しか来なくなっちゃう。
Okay, another future animator, listen, this is a great lesson. His art is very difficult and not exactly my style that I prefer, but he has completed and he had a very good response, a major response from both directors and throughout the industry. So be careful. When you do great job, they think you like that job. That you really like those characters, difficult characters, and they believe that's what you prefer, so they start sending you the same type of hard jobs from that.
リューナイトもやっぱりその後マッターハウスからサンライズさんに移って、リューナイトのキャラで作家をやるんですけど。
Yes, and after that, I moved from Math House, the most famous animation studio there. And then he ended up with Lord of Rose Reunite. Anybody? That's pretty big too, the big character 52 series. Okay, you weren't born. What did I gotta say?
で、剣と魔法とロボットが大好きなんでしょって言われて。
剣と魔法とロボットね、ロボット。Okay, and they all ask me, oh, I know your reputation. You love sword, and you love magic, and you love robot, right? That's your character favorite. Wrong!
ちびまる子とかバイトでやってましたからね、ローラスのところに。
I was more like a Chibimaruko type, the cutesy little. And I actually did work some of the series in that one too. People don't know, but that's more like my type. Serious じゃない。もっと可愛いのが好きだ。
いや、面白いの。
Okay. Well, I can say not till you don't like serious stuff. Goes, no, I didn't say that, but it's more fun. The fun-loving anime is my type of anime that I would like to create.
でもね、楽な道はもう待ってないわけですよ。
But in his case, the difficult road was ahead, and the easy road was closed right in front of his face. By misunderstanding.
リューナイトの後、リューナイトまだやってる頃にエスカフローネのエンディングを書いてくれる。
And when I was still involved with Unite, I was asked to do the ending role of Escaflowne. Everybody should know this one. I even know this one.
スカフローネはエンディングを全部書いたのと、あと本編のお手伝いをしてる。
I have written the entire ending, and I did actually help assist a lot of doing before the ending. So I was heavily involved with this project.
この エスカフローネを受けた流れで、まあ、サンライズっていう会社の中の第二スタジオっていうところで作ってたんですが、そのプロデューサーが独立したのが今ボンズっていう会社なんですね。でエスカフローネの流れからビバップのオープニングの原画をまた描いてます。
今もですか？今ってかその後。
そうです。
Okay, so the networking is very important here, young ones. Okay, so I was involved I was still doing the Lord View nights, but then I was asked about the Escalante, and actually during that time I belonged to a Bonds, that is a studio I worked for, but then that was after Madhouse, and because of my involvement and with Madhouse, they had like a two-section, Studio A, Studio B, and I was on the team B. But then the head of the B team, captain, departed from that company, and he formed himself a new company. And after that, he called me and like, why don't you do this for us? And that was another Cowboy Bebop. So
ジェットっていうキャラクターの静かな話をお亡くなりになってしまってとても悲しいです。
雲上さん、声ですか？
そうですか。
You know that in the character that Unso Shizuka, he is the character that the voice actor, he just passed away not too long ago. So every time we have such a close communication and like a family, it's really hard to be part of that group also. I mean, we all feel the loss of the character.
去年参加してた作品で、雲翔さんが声を当てる予定だったからで、久しぶりにお会いできると期待してたんですが、ちょっと残念な。
Yes, I was so looking forward to it because we were still working on the new bebops, and I thought I was gonna see him again, and we were all excited, and that dream never came true. So they have to alternate another voice actor.
まあ役者さんも絵描きも死んじゃいますけど、作品が残るのか、作品はいつまでもいいというこれ。
But overall, from looking back my life and to now, voice actors, artists, animators, even we are gone and we fade out of this earth, and we may not be in a memory, but our artworks, our works will stay forever and be in people's heart. And I think I have chosen the perfect, most rewarding job that was created, that is the artist and animator. I believe so. Okay, we can go on and on, but I'm sure you have some questions. You want to talk to him? You don't get to see him often in the United States. You know that. So, if anyone has questions, please come to the microphone, and we'll do the Q&A. Any questions or anyone you want to talk to?
Sure.
Okay. Your name?
Sim?
Sim-san. Hi.
With the change in the way anime is being produced now, with a lot more CGI, computer-generated graphics, how has that changed? Like, I assume it's changed a lot as far as like drawing a lot of the background characters and the backgrounds generally. Has it made it easier? Do you feel it's a good change?
CGI がもう今すごい発達してる昔のトラディショナルなドローイングでなくなって、例えばバックグラウンドの背景なんかはもうほとんど CGI になってきてますけども、昔と比べてそれは進歩したんでしょうか。それとまあいいことだと思われますか。それとももっと後退してしまったとか、いろいろ
どっちもあります。
あ、そうですか。I believe, yes, there are improvement and certainly helped with CGI, but at the same time, there are something that are lost from traditional drawing.
リアルな表現は得意ですけど、絵画的な表現がまだまだっていうところです。
CGI ですか？
そうです。
Okay, so for CGI, something real, like a reality, they are very well advanced, that it looks almost real. But when you're talking about more of art, art impression, or more of an artistic view and professional view, CG cannot cover the true nature of the artistry. And professional like himself, I can see which is CG and which is a real art.
Thank you so much.
はい、ありがとうございます。Yes. Your name?
Hello, my name is James, and I was just wondering which one of your projects did you have the most fun and the most fun working on?
ジェームスさんですけども、今までやった作品の中で一番楽しかった、エンジョイしたのはどんなタイトルでした？
一番大変だったのは
エンジョイです
一番大変だったのはスチームボーイだったんですよ。でもユニコーンガンダムをその後入ってあるユニコーンガンダムのがもっとしんどかったんです
楽しいのは
楽しいのはでも作品が出来上がるとどれも楽しいです。
Okay.
そう作品を作るのはいつも楽しくて、作品を作るために苦労するのはいつも辛いです。
Okay, put it this way, the hardest that I've worked on, and I said, no, he said most enjoyable. Well, the hardest that I ever worked on is Steam Boy. Until I faced Unicorn Gundam, that was even more hardest. It's like, but he asked for enjoyable. It's like, well, come think of it, they were hard, and it was doing that creation that was so difficult, and I really, truly, constantly was like very troubled. It was very difficult, but at the end of entire作品, that project, and when you see the finishing line and you see the completion, I love it, and that's the time I had fun, and I go back and said those hardship was just a joy after all. So
Thank you very much.
thank you. So hardship, difficult is a joy. Next.
Konnichiwa.
Hi.
Amanda. I was wanting to ask you, as an artist, what was the most difficult thing for you to learn? And also, did your style change, and what ways did it change over the years?
Okay. アーティストとして、ずっとやってらっしゃったので、今までアーティストその一番大変だった難しかったことを習っている時に、そしてこの何年もやってらっしゃいますけれども、スタイル自身変わりましたか？私はアーティストとしてどんどんいろいろ大変な勉強をされなきゃいけないところとかありましたけども、どういうところが大変だったですか？そして次にそのスタイルが今また先生のスタイルがありますけど、それが徐々に年を取ることに変わりますか？
大変だったのは最初は画力、デッサン力 よりもタイミングが難しかった。芝居のタイミング、同じ絵を描いてもそれをどう動かすか、どういうタイミングで動かすかっていうのが自分の思った通りに動かせなかった。
Okay, the first difficult thing that I faced was the timing. When it comes to like TV shows, I draw something, the artist has this imagination that this is how it should move, and it didn't exactly have that timing correctly. And that was very difficult. I never thought that would be the difficult part, to time the scene, each scene. And also, そしてでも変わってきら来られたんですね、スタイルは。
知らないことって演じられないんですね。で、嘘を、人に対して嘘をついてるのも、テレビのドラマの場合は視聴者が嘘をついてるって分かる嘘の芝居をさせなきゃいけないみたいなことを考えるようになって、舞台をよく見るようになりました。
Okay, as years goes on, as an animator and artist, you know, a lot of things are fantasy. It's not reality. And I am great about drawing the reality, but I'm actually lying to you, audience. I'm giving you fantasy that doesn't exist, and you have to make it real. So that was something I was enlightened later a year. Now I watch a lot of show, like live shows, to see the movement, actual actions, to be inspired, to create something new, but not being true to yourself, as close as possible, not lying to the audience. I'm more careful now.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. He will be the, you'll be the last one. No, the one after. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. The man with the cap.
So, hello, my name is Antonio Campos.
Antonio Campos.
My question was, like, I'm growing as an artist, and like one thing that I struggle with is medium, or like how, like in what form to use for drawing, for concept, for like focusing my form. And there's like different inspirations I take from the world around me, but I don't know how to center that, or like pick a style that I can really say is unique to me. So how would you go about that, or how have you gone about something like that?
自分のスタイルとしてやっぱりフォームとかコンセプトとか、自分もアーティストに志望してるんですけども、そのインスピレーションというのはあるんですけど、実際にその自分のスタイルがこれだっていうふうにどういうふうに発見しましたか？自分で確認できたっていう、自分ではまだわからない。
一番最初はアマチュアでアニメーションを作ってた時は大塚康夫さん、カリオストロの作画監督の絵が好きで、その人の絵に模写から入ってたんですね。でだんだんそのアニメーターって人の絵を真似しないといけないので真似をしていってたんですが、漫画を描くことになって1年間漫画の連載をしたら自分の絵ができたんです。
Okay, so I do have someone I admire, Yasuro Otsuka, and that was when I was still student. So I looked at his work, and I did copy. He was my inspiration, so I thought that was his style until I actually got a job as creating manga, original. Then I have to define myself. That's the time it hit the button that this is my style, not somebody else's copy. When you have to create your own manga, that's how he got inspired. So it's okay that you have some inspiration and you like certain styles, but you'll never know until you have your own original work. Is that the answer to your question?
Yes.
Be inspired.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. So, with everything you know now, with all of your experience, if you could go back and tell your young self just starting one thing to make your life easier, or just, flow better, what would that be?
Oh, your name?
Oh, I'm Paloma.
プロで自分がアーティストとしてここまで来ましたけれども、もしも元に戻れるなら若い時に一言自分に意見をしたいとしたら何を言いますか
時間を巻き戻したいよりも体だけ若くなってほしい。
You know, I don't really think about going back to myself as young. I don't care about the time, but my body was as young as that time. でも何か自分に言いたいことありますかとか、これをしなければいい。やったねとか、忠告とか。
この子と結婚しても離婚するよ。
Oh, I should have just said, I know you're gonna marry that girl, but you're gonna divorce at the end.
Thank you.
And the last one,
Hi.
you are?
Kyle.
Kyle, okay. Nice.
My question is of more recent works or airing shows. What studio has impressed you the most recently?
And the reason?
Or a director.
Okay, 最近やった作品でディレクターでも最近のアニメーションでも何かこれはいい作品だって自分で思ったのがありますか最近の作品で。
最近はでも辛い作品が多いんですよね。
辛い。
チェックをするディレクターをしてるっていうのは人の書いたものをチェックする仕事なんですけど、やっぱり昔よりも書けない人が増えてるんで、結局こうしてくださいじゃなくて書き直すことになってしまう。それがしんどい。
Okay. We noticed the quality. I noticed the quality of art has been declined in recent years. And for director, what they do usually, the director's job is to oversee and correct whatever that needs to be corrected for the end, like a final check. But these days, the director himself cannot even ask the animator to correct because they don't know what to correct. So they end up correcting all the scenes. That people don't know about this, but it's been that difficult to give direction to the younger generation of animators.
All right, thank you.
まだ
And there's one more.
去年参加してた作品が、
はい、
オーバーロード2。
はい。
で、それは絵コンテと演出をやってるんですが、ギリギリまで直し続けて、きちんとしたものを作ったつもり。
はい。Okay. Well, because this was from the experience. I'm involved with Overload too, and he is also directing, and that's what he's doing exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So all the assistants and animators are drawing, and it's it's better for me to correct than just tell them to do it and do it wrong. So that's the experience I have. But check out on Overload too.
Well, I'm actually watching the third one right now, but it's still airing.
Oh, サードやもう今。
やってるんですけど、参加してない。
Oh, the third one I'm not
The second one was
involved.
really good.
Second one.
Yeah.
Okay, he's involved with second.
It was
Okay.
really good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, do you have anything you can say to the Texas audience, American audience? Hi. Oh, and we have an autograph session right after, so we have to wrap it up so you can see him in person and talk about his divorce case. この後すぐサイン会がありますので、もしも話し会もできるし、いざとなって離婚の話も十分聞いてください。
いや、だったら新しい嫁を。
Oh, and in that case, bring someone new for me to have my wife. Okay, welcome, very welcome. それでは。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much. I'll see you at this autograph session. Thank you for coming.